What's going on, people? It is Irish Gunner HD here. You can call me Irish. And today I'm joined by Daniel Matros, a.k.a. Zh1nt0. I was going to introduce you, but I suppose that's the first question that I've got. So why don't you introduce yourself and give us a bit about your background and your current position at DICE?
Yes, so my name is Matros, and I'm a producer at DICE on multiplayer for. And the project I'm working on right now is Battlefield 4.
Awesome.
Yes.
And you did you switch to your producer role during BF3 or as well, yeah, I know you did, but
No,
did you
no.
have input on anything towards BF3, or did you literally just as soon as you started, as soon as you switched jobs, you started on BF4? Was that the case?
Well, I started out on BC2 first of all as a community manager, and then I became global community manager.
Yeah.
Well, post-launch BC2 up until BF3, and then I did Battlefield 3 as a global community manager, and then in October 2012, I became a producer.
And was that on?
So that wasn't external though. That was only internal. And then in
Oh, right.
December, January, I became that became my title, the producer.
So you continued on as community manager for a couple of months then afterwards.
Yeah, it's just that didn't change the title. That's
All
all. I had to prove myself, I guess.
right. Trial period. So yeah, I don't know. That question was kind of confusing, but what I meant to say was, when you took up the job as community, or sorry, not to as producer, was that to do with Battlefield 3's expansions, or did you literally just start straight away on working on Battlefield 4, like getting your head into that kind of situation?
Oh no, I headed straight into Battlefield 4,
Ah,
mainly because of staffing. I mean, Battlefield 3 was already full with people who had already been working on the project and who were already a part of the team.
yeah,
And then I think it was mostly a staffing thing.
yeah. So all right,
I got to start on a brand new project that I
that's
hadn't been working on before.
that's awesome. Right, so the first thing that I want to talk about after introducing yourself, you've seen the list of questions. You know that more important than anything gaming or Battlefield or anything like that, the most important thing is your charity stream that you do. Why don't you tell us a bit about that? I think most people kind of are aware that you're doing it. If they've seen your Twitter around like that, they know. But for those that don't know, just tell us a little bit about the charity stream and what that's all about.
Oh, the charity stream. So basically, the charity stream is it's a collective of people. Mostly me, or like only me streaming right now together with other people, but it's a collective of people working on the stream, whether it's in the background, whether it's on the stream, whether it's doing stuff close by.
Yeah,
We basically we stream gameplay, we raise money, and then we go to orphanages around the world and donate the money, buy supplies, and we want to shoot documentaries of them. Not because we want to shoot documentaries about what an amazing job we did.
yeah,
White man comes to Africa with money. We don't want that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
what we basically want to do is we want to create a connection between you, the person viewing this, you, the person giving the money, and you as a person receiving feedback for your money,
yeah.
basically.
Of course.
So,
And do you have anybody, any kind of air quotes big people doing it with you, or is it just random people from Dice, or how
uh,
is it like how like in this inside the stream? I mean, like playing with you.
no, it's just me doing it. And then we joined
Uh,
with a bunch of other people, and then we've had Heaton on. We're gonna have Ninjas in Pajamas on. We're gonna have In Control on from Evil Geniuses. I mean, we're gonna have a lot of different people on, and we're gonna tie it into the indie music scene in Scandinavia and Germany as well. So we're gonna have some indie music stars come on, electro and that kind of stuff.
awesome. So like helping out not just people in gaming, like helping out all kinds of different,
Yeah, I mean,
get
because
chances to
that's
be
from
get
the
exposure
start.
and stuff.
I mean, a lot of people when they create a stream, they want to be like on the top of everything. They want to
Yeah.
be, my stream is going to be perfect. Charity stream is no way perfect. It's a mix of weird ideas and no planning. I would say charity stream is like if you have a lot of streams, that you watch.
Yeah.
You have a lot of professional streams with logos and everything. Like that's produced.
Yeah.
And charity stream is like the basement
And
of
what do
that.
you actually what games do you play? Because I've seen one. I literally my internet sucks here for watching streams. I literally can watch about 10 minutes before it just starts lagging and I can't watch it. I have to turn it off. So what do you play? Is it just Battlefield or is it anything different?
Uh, it's mostly like it depends, man. It depends what I feel like. I mean, usually we play. if you'd asked me 2 weeks ago, it would have only been CS:GO.
Yeah.
Right? And if you ask me now, like the last week, it's only been Battlefield. So I try to mix it up.
Yeah.
Some games I mix in and I never play again, like League of Legends. I've played it for a year, but it's just so boring to play.
Oh,
It's boring to play alone.
controversial.
To play with, it's fun. So I mean, I tried Dota 2. I couldn't get past the tutorial because it was too boring, and like I tried a bunch of different games, and the weirdest game I've ever played on the stream is Truck Simulator 2,
I
Euro Truck.
love that game. It's so weirdly relaxing, I think. When it's raining at night and it's just you and the truck, and
Yeah,
it's just strangely peaceful. I love it.
it is amazing.
But it's not for everyone. That's definitely, you can definitely say that. But and is it only like if you were to sit down and stream like for like an hour or two long session, would it just be one game, or do you kind of like change it about inside the stream, or
It
how does it
depends.
usually go?
You know, sometimes I stream completely alone and I just put on some music and I just stream. I read the chat and try to reply. And sometimes it's CS:GO and Battlefield. Sometimes I streamed Crisis once, never,
Once in once.
and Battlefield. So I had to emphasize that. Yeah, so I mean, I stream a lot of different things, you know, and it's
Well,
just
that's
fun, you know.
yeah, that's awesome. The link to the stream will of course be in the description, as well as if anything that we mention comes up that needs a link, it will also obviously be in the description. Definitely go check it out. When's the next one? Do you know? When would you do? And how often do you do it?
On Friday, tomorrow 9 o'clock, we are going to show the documentary about Charity Street.
Oh, sweet. On where? On the stream itself?
Yeah, on the stream itself at 9 o'clock.
Awesome. Well, people, make sure you're going to check it out. So, next question will be then, how and when did you get into gaming, and then later on, how did you get into Battlefield, the Battlefield series?
Wow, I think the first game I ever played, first game I ever played was Wolfenstein 3D.
Oh,
I was
old school.
5 or 6 years old. Yeah, I had a computer in my room, a 386 too. And that was the first time I played a game, and then I played a lot of different games like Commander Keen and all that kind of stuff. But the first time I really got into gaming was Quake 1. And I remember my mom was like, no, it's terrible. Running around shooting ogres and all, all this stuff, just blood and everything. And
Not much has changed.
Yeah, but I felt like I love that game. And then I switched from Quake 1, basically because my parents were like, no, man, seriously, there's got to be some boundaries here.
Yeah.
I was a kid. I was like 9 years old, maybe. Yeah, 9 years old. So I switched to Red Alert, and then when I grew up a little bit, like a few years after that, I played a lot of Quake 3, a lot of Unreal Tournament 2. Sorry, a lot of Unreal Tournament, and then Counter-Strike, of course, a lot of Counter-Strike, and then Battlefield 42, and that's where I got stuck.
Haven't moved on from there much.
Yeah, it's crazy. And the funny thing is, like, I grew up playing BF42. Like, I grew up seeing Lars Gustafsson and Thomas Andersson on the news, and I grew up seeing them on websites. I grew up seeing them. And then one day I was like, man, I'm gonna work with these guys.
Yeah.
And then for Battlefield 3, I traveled around the world with Lars Gustafsson.
That's insane, man.
Crazy.
That's like living the dream. That's like the nerdy version of like going to be like the lead singer of like Guns N' Roses or something, or somebody good. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Well, like we are on a tight schedule and we're already about 10 minutes into it. So I think most people would want to know the Battlefield related questions. So we'll get on to them.
Oh, yeah.
Looking back at Battlefield 3, how do you think it went overall? And then after that, just favorite DLC for you personally?
I would say it went really well, man. I mean, the multiplayer aspects, wonderful. How we marketed it, wonderful. How we, hyped it up until we released it, wonderful. It just, came out of the door looking good. Obviously, we had a bunch of patching issues that we needed to fix, ballast weapons, but I mean, it's a game. It has that. The post-launch support was amazing.
It comes with the territory of being multi-platform. There's nothing you can do about it. When Microsoft has the kind of patching system that it has, you're kind of you can't do anything about it. It's not your fault. Like.
Yeah, no, it's a huge game too. I mean, Battlefield is such a huge package, and we try to explain Battlefield to someone with all the intricate details. It's so difficult,
And yeah, so what would your favorite DLC be out of all of them?
Oh, Aftermath, definitely.
I think mine is close quarters. I don't know why. It's strange because I don't think about it because like I spread the time over like all the DLCs. But when I think about it, I think I've played close quarters more than any other. And I think it's just because you can spend so much time in it because it's so fast paced and game after game after game after game, you don't really realize how long you're spending in it.
Yeah.
Whereas like if you play one long ass game of like 500,000 or like 500 or 1,000 tickets conquest, you play one game and then you're done for the night. You're like, whoa, that was a battle. But like
Yeah, and
it kind of
try Metro 5,000 tickets.
Jesus.
Yeah, it takes like 3 hours.
64 man, oh my god. Well, I'm actually only new to PC. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm only brand new, so I still haven't gotten fully into the like as crazy as you can get with Battlefield on PC yet. So
Dude, man. Oh, one piece of advice I have for you.
yeah.
You go to Caspian border, grab the helicopter with your friend,
Mm.
jump out and stand on the top of the tower.
On 64 players.
Yeah, on Caspian border, and just like shoot heat seekers and jets. It's hilarious. I love it.
That sounds awesome. All right. So next question, then we really have to fly through these because in case you didn't know, we only have. It's not going to be like the hour and a half long epic interview we had with Deku Collin because Daniel has a meeting at 9:30 and well 8:30 his time, half
Work
or
meeting too.
a
Work.
work meeting. Yeah, it's not like an air quotes meeting with beers involved. But yeah, he has to go in about 20 minutes. So we literally about 20 minutes. Yeah, we have to fly through these, so it won't be quite as in depth, but still, it's awesome. So next question is, what are you most proud of with BF3? And then after that, if you could have changed one thing, oh, sorry, that's a longer question. So I'll ask the first one: what are you most proud of first in Battlefield 3?
I would say all the people I worked with on the team. I mean, we pulled some crazy hours. We pulled light hours. We pulled heavy hours. We did stuff that we didn't know we could do, really, and we did it. We shipped the game, and we shipped a good quality game, and I'm most proud of the people I worked with. Everything from level designers to coders to frostbite engineers to marketing to like everything. I'm proud that I got to work with these people. So that's my best moment. And gameplay wise, I would say the game itself.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Was there? I'm gonna kind of play not devil's advocate, but I'm gonna try and force you to pick a specific one. Well, like if there's anything, like say, whether it's the dirt bike jumps in one map or like the close quarters, bringing Battlefield in a new direction, or having the biggest map ever, like one thing that you could narrow down that you say that you're most proud of, what would you say would be the thing?
In
You have
terms
to
of
pick.
gameplay or in terms of levels?
Like anything to do with actually going in and playing the game and whatever you interact with and see. I know it's a big, broad, it's a
Yeah.
very broad question, but like, what sticks out to you as the most? Like every time you see it, or every time you do it, or every time it happens, you're just like, I made that. I was well, you might not have actually made it, but like I was pretty well involved with that. Like I'm proud of it.
Yeah,
That
our
my company does.
diversity in game modes, like Battlefield 3, and
Mm.
the whole spectra we covered. That's what I think that's pretty cool.
I actually touched on that. I don't know if you've seen my last video where I just because you weren't able to answer some of the questions, I just wanted to let people know that I was going to answer or ask some questions about BF4. So I kind of listed them off in the video, but I also touched on because the video gameplay that I used was scavenger mode. So I introduced the video by saying that I'm posting scavenger mode on this in this video because you don't ever see it because well you rarely see it, but I didn't understand why you rarely seen it because I basically made the point that all you see is conquest and rush, so that kind of makes you forget a little bit the amount of actual game types that there are. Like there's conquest, conquest large, rush, team deathmatch, squad deathmatch, all of the game modes in hardcore, air superiority, tank superiority, scavenger, gunmaster, and there's probably another one that I'm not even thinking of. Like
Yeah, well,
that's a lot.
I'm on a personal crusade. No, I love Conquest and Rush, but I'm on a personal crusade to play anything that is not Conquest and Rush.
Yeah, same to be
Show
honest.
people, to show people that Battlefield is not only, it used to be Conquest and Rush. That's absolutely correct. But now it's everything else,
Yeah.
as well.
They're not gimmicks, like they're here to stay. Like scavenger mode will probably make some kind of return or whatever. Like not specifically, but like
Yeah.
they're here to, like the new game modes and fun game modes stuff like that. They're here to stay. They weren't like a gimmick that you just try to shift more copies or something like that. Like something like that. Right.
Yeah.
So the second half. Oh, sorry.
Appealing to everything and everyone.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. So the second half of that question was, if you could have changed one thing about BF3, whether it was the patch sparsity bugs going unfixed, things like battle recorder not making it into the game, Dino mode, of course. We're all heartbroken that didn't make it in. What would you say would be the one thing that you were?
It's kind of difficult, man, because I know the background behind why things.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say I would say that I'm not sad, but I am. What's the word when you're not sad but you're not happy?
Disappointed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't focus more on esports and video makers.
Esports. That's what when I wrote battle recorder, I was like, damn it, there's another one that people are always asking for. Battle
Well, no,
recorder.
Here's the thing as well. I mean, that's a common misconception. You don't need
Oh
a
yeah. No, of
recorder for
course.
esports. You don't need. You need a demo recorder, yes, to
Mm.
see if anyone's cheating as like a what's it called a CCTV that records footage. Like you need that.
Yeah.
You need to see from the player's point of view if he's using anything, if his aim is bouncing, if he's using wall hack, if he's aimbot. You need to see that.
Yeah.
A battle recorder where you pause footage and fly around in the world, like that's not really needed.
Yeah.
So I
It's
think that's a common misconception. But I mean, I was at DreamHack Winter and DreamHack Summer, and I saw my team Epsilon win as usual. And I saw them win, and I saw everything from quarterfinals to final, and I was sitting there. I was like, man, if we just had spectator here, this would have been so amazing, you know?
yeah. And
And
what's your opinion? Have you seen the level BF's version of it, kind of spectator
yeah,
mode?
I used it on Sunday.
Oh, I didn't catch that. What do you think of it? It looks really, really good and really
Yeah,
intuitive as well.
yeah, it's a hack. I mean,
Yeah.
it is that you
You
see.
can't use, yeah. It's like it's pretty.
Yeah, but it still gives you an overview of what's going on. Like we streamed the Nations Cup. They've been streaming a lot, but I was involved in the Nations Cup this Sunday when we were streaming it. It is really, really cool. I like it.
Yeah.
It's a cool tool.
That's awesome. There was something that we just touched on. Oh yeah, speaking of esports, the matches feature of Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
What was the deal with that? Because I expected something bigger to come out of it, but it seemed like a feature that wasn't actually used in the end.
So yeah, I think the pipeline into the matches feature wasn't really. I mean, we didn't really do a good job in marketing it.
Yeah.
ESL used it for their Versus system, which was very popular. They had like 20,000 games per week.
Yeah.
So that's very good for them because the API tied into the Versus feature. Um, yeah, we could have, it's. I think we.
Because like I literally, it's to the point where I am not 100% certain on what it actually is. I know it's for setting up competitive games, but like it was
Yeah.
so kind of not to be bad, but like it was like you said, it wasn't advertised so well. So I literally don't even know exactly what it was.
Yeah, basically what the extended feature of the matches is what you cannot do on servers that you can do on matches is that you blacklist weapons without saying don't use it. You just
Ah,
take them away, basically.
oh,
And you see your team name, and you have a ready mode. Everyone readies up before the match starts. There's another that type of free round. So there's another UI. So there's a bunch of things that are different. But I mean, we didn't market it well. The pipeline into that wasn't very clear. It wasn't very clear what it was. The front end wasn't very clear at all. It's
Nick,
I
did
think
it?
competitive players use it.
Because I don't remember. Because anytime, like, how did you actually use it? Because as far as I could tell, you weren't actually able to use it unless you had some kind of like outside source or like outside help in setting up a match. Because anytime I click into it, there'd be nothing there. It would just tell me you have no matches scheduled.
Yeah, you have to set it up via your what's it called? Via your game server. So you actually address stuff into your game server.
Oh, so you have to own a server to set up a
Yeah,
match.
yeah.
Ah,
And the same goes for console. I mean, you have to have an Xbox or PS3 server,
yeah.
and you have to book your matches on the web, but you can't book them in the console server browser, or sorry, console UI.
I see.
Which kind of makes it difficult,
Yeah.
If I have a console, I'm prepared to do my stuff on console.
You want to be able to do it all in the box.
Yeah, so I mean that's a huge takeaway, at least for me, with the matches feature.
Mm. And no, I was going to ask you, is there any plans to like try and fix that or implement that again? But you obviously wouldn't be able to answer. Never mind that. So yeah, that's the last question on out of those. So question 6 is going back to your time as community manager. How did you find that? Like, what would be your highlights and kind of lowlights? Because
The best part when you were able to get feedback in and you saw the changes in the game and they rolled it out.
Yeah,
And the worst part is when the exact opposite happened.
yeah. I assume that would be the case.
So yeah, I'd say that definitely.
Because you seem to get a lot of slack or like a lot of flack or whatever from people being like, "Oh, you didn't fix this," and I'm like, I'd watch that and I'd be like, it's not his specific job. He's just kind of the middleman that has to tell the team. If they can
Yeah,
implement it, they
that
can. And if
it
they
is
can't,
it
they
is
can't.
difficult, you know. I mean, being the face outwards and being the person that tells them this didn't happen, or they expect me to bring them feedback, and
Yeah.
I can't keep them in the loop, you know. It is what it is, you know. But
Mm.
hopefully, you know, with Battlefield 4, we're doing the right things, we're pushing the right buttons, and you know, a lot of people are going to be happy.
Awesome. And then just to touch on that again, the current, I don't know if you were even able to say anything about this because I literally just thought of this. The current like Twitter kind of account for Battlefield has gotten really impersonal, and that's just like what I've noticed. They do interact and they do like we'll have a chat, but it literally seems like they're like reading from a script. Whereas when we used to get replies with your initial CM and all that, or sorry, DM, and like the other, I can't remember the other one now, but like you'd feel like you're actually talking to someone, and they like I
Yeah.
felt like you like say if I got a reply and had DM at the end, I'd be like, wow, he was actually really interested in finding out how my game went or something like that if I tweeted at you. But
Yeah.
now it's just like,
Yeah, I mean, we are
oh,
always
thanks
around.
for
We're
sharing, and
always around. The Battlelog Twitter is always around. You can always ask us. I mean, I'm not really involved in the whole. I left that way behind. I left that. I
yeah,
left.
yeah, I knew that. My sorry,
So,
that was very unclear. My question now for you was like, what's your opinion on the way it's been run now? How it's like completely different. It literally, and it's not to have like to bash on them. They are doing a good job, and they do respond to most people like almost all the time. But it's always just like the kind of usual automated scripted response, which is kind of annoying.
yeah, like I don't know, man. If people go there for something and they get the reply, I mean, they get help.
Yeah,
If their questions are answered, I think that's good enough. You
yeah,
know, I mean, of course, you always want a little bit of, you know, personal
personal
touch to
stuff.
it. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't hurt to have that, but you know, sometimes I don't know, it doesn't happen.
I suppose, like as the game's exploding as well, it's not like they can have two or three guys sitting at their computers answering Twitter questions all day. So
Yeah,
it needs to just be kind of more efficient in a way, like where you can just kind of, yes, thank you, thank you, thank you. Here's the answer. Here's the answer. Here's the help you're looking for, and just kind of keep moving on. Like otherwise, it would get to the stage where nobody was getting any replies. So I suppose they're doing the best that they can. Like, well, it is just a shame to see that it's. I understand it, but it's a shame if you know what I mean.
yep.
Like it would be better. All right, well that's that. So question 7 then. What is your opinion on the Battlefield YouTube community, and do you watch any channels in particular, if at all?
Grizzle, man. I always watch Grizzle stuff.
Only Grizzle?
No,
All of us out here, Daniel. You're
I'm
only watching Grizzle.
get around. Like I don't usually watch users per se. I
Yeah,
only watch like if someone sends me a cool video, I'll look at that. Like I'll look at the content and not the person who makes it.
yeah,
So everyone is kind of anonymous to me, except for the videos. But now I've gotten into the YouTube community a bit more because I'm reaching out to them for the charity stream.
yeah.
So I had Volvin coming out yesterday to get the buys, and Jack Frags obviously was on, has been on a few times. So I'm getting used. I'm getting quite acquainted with that crowd now.
Yeah. And what's your opinion on people like Rival X Factor? You know X Factor?
Yeah, I know X Factor.
What's your opinion on his kind of gun reviews? And not just him in particular, loads of people do them, but like him and like people like Level Cap bringing kind of gun reviews and best setups. Like, do you have any opinion on how that affects gameplay? Because I did a video about this a couple of months ago now, saying that I was kind of hoping BF4 that nobody makes videos on guns and just tells you which is the best gun because it kind of just if it wasn't for those videos, you would probably see like three quarters less M16A3s and AEKs nowadays. Like, do you have any input on that? Do you wish it was kind of back in like the COD 4, like early game FPS games where you had no YouTube videos to watch where you could find out what the best setups were? You had to feel it out yourself. Like, what would your take be on that?
I think it's individual. I mean, if you want to figure out yourself, you won't watch YouTube videos.
Yeah,
Like I want to figure out for myself. I don't go over to, you know, the gameplay room and say, okay, which one's the best gun? Tell me about this DPS and all that kind of stuff. So,
mm,
you know, tell me about this recoil pattern or spray pattern. I just want to find out myself.
yeah. I suppose like that was another thing. Like, I thought of that exact thing that you said after the video. I was like, wait, that whole video is pointless because if you don't want to watch them, you just don't watch them.
Yeah, I mean, you
But at
just
the
don't
same
want.
time, if they're not there, because if they're, it's like smoking in a weird way. Like if you don't like, if you're a smoker and you give up, but like there's always like people around you smoking, you're probably gonna sneak a smoke every now and again. Like it'd be the same thing.
Yeah,
It's like if the videos are there, you're probably gonna just be like, huh, I wonder if there's a really good gun setup that I could be using. I'll just watch this one video. And then it's like 2 hours later, you've watched every video that there is available.
Yeah.
But so that's so then you're just kind of like, it's an individual thing. If you want to watch them, watch them. If you don't, don't.
I'm pretty neutral about that. Like if I want to see some cool stuff, I'll go watch a video.
Mm.
Otherwise, I'm not a big fan of montages and stuff.
I'm not either, strangely. I don't know why. I think, like, I've always felt weird for the longest time about not being into montages, because, like, everyone is. But it's like, okay, well, once you've seen, like, a quick scope from across the map, although it's impressive, you've seen it. Or, like, once you've seen, like, two jets fly upside down underneath one of the No Shark Canal bridges or something like that, it's amazing, yes, but I've now seen it. There's not too much to impress me now.
Yeah, I agree.
All right then. So onto the one and only Battlefield 4 related question that you can answer, and this will be the last one because you've looking at the time, you've only got 5 minutes left, so we'll wrap it up after this.
Right.
Onto Battlefield 4. How do you think the development has gone in terms of improving upon BF3, and has it been easier or harder to kind of? And what I meant by that was, has it been easier to improve on Battlefield 3, because the game was amazing in itself, but because you're using next gen software on the consoles or next gen hardware on the consoles, and PCs are getting better, you don't have much restrictions. Is it easier to improve upon it, or has it been harder because it was already so good that you just didn't know how to make it better?
I'd say both yes and no. I mean, first we have to outdo Battlefield 3.
Yeah.
And then now we have a huge crowd that knows Battlefield for being Battlefield 3. They don't know Battlefield for being Battlefield 2 or 2142.
Yeah.
Whereas when we came out with Battlefield 3, we had a huge crowd knowing what Battlefield 2 was. So it's like a split crowd right now.
Yeah.
So we kind of have to go Battlefield 3, and we have to stay true to the Battlefield legacy. So I would say it's both difficult and easy.
Do you think you've done it well though? Do you think you've kind of towed that line well so far, like in the development?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously you're gonna see more coming down the road, and you did see the single player stuff.
Yeah.
All of that is in the game. Nothing is outside the game. Like that's what you see is what you get.
Well, sure, it was live. It was live. The people that were actually at the event said that the guy was literally playing it with a controller in front of him live. So
that is not CGI. That is not,
it's all real time rendering and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not like a movie or whatever it is. That is in the game. That's how it looks. And you're always pushing the boundaries and always upping the engine, gameplay, and all that stuff. DICE is now traditionally DICE is now a gameplay studio and a tech studio.
Yeah.
Whereas,
like, you license out Frostbite to other companies. I know Need for Speed was on Frostbite, wasn't it?
Yeah. Whereas a few years back, we were we were a gameplay studio, but we were mostly a tech studio.
Yeah.
Now I think with Battlefield 3, I mean, we kind of jumped over some hurdles, took a huge leap, and now I think we're positioned well with gameplay and the tech.
Right, well, I think that's it. But I just had one personal question. I pre-ordered, all right, this is just for me, and it's just mental that I'm actually able to ask this to someone that actually works at DICE. I pre-ordered Battlefield 4 the day before yesterday, and if you pre-order with GameStop, do you get tags, like actual physical dog tags?
Oh, I don't know, man. I gotta ask marketing.
I was wondering.
I can find out for you, though. It's fine.
If you could, that'd be awesome, because I went in and I pre-ordered it and I mentioned it, and the guy had no idea. He was like, "Oh, I don't think we have them yet." And I was like, "Oh," because I know my friend, one of my mates, Geigers, he posted a picture of the ones that he got, and I said, "How did you get them?" And he was like, "You pre-order it at EB Games, which is the Canadian version of GameStop." And I was like, "Well, there's a GameStop around the corner from where I work, so I'll just pop in there, pre-order, get the tags. Awesome." Then he said, "Come back in a few days. We don't have them yet." I went in today, and the girl, again, it's like they'd never even heard of it. So I thought you might be able to shed some light on that situation.
I can find out for you, though. I mean, I'm not really sure because I'm not a part of the whole marketing group. But I'll find out for you. It's fine.
Awesome. Right, well, any shout-outs or last-minute things that you'd like to say before you go?
Our community is awesome. I love it. Very classy people.
Nice, I like it. Well, I am wearing a tuxedo, so I'm not really. I wish I was, though. It'd make it so much more awesome. And then again, people, just to mention charity stream, tomorrow night is the link will be in the description. Tomorrow night they'll be showcasing the documentary, which is was again just talking about how it came to be and its journey, so more or less.
What was that?
I said just the documentary tomorrow night. What will that be about again? Just the kind of journey.
Oh, it will be about my trip to Johannesburg helping the orphanage out.
Oh, awesome! All right, so that's tomorrow night. At what time did you say?
9 o'clock CET.
Which is 8 o'clock in GMT here in Europe and Dublin and London and stuff. And Americans, you are SOL because I have no idea how to translate American time into Irish time or European time into American time. It's awful.
Yep.
Well, anyway, cheers, Daniel. I really appreciate it. Oh, God, I can't let this go without saying thank you to Natty again for putting me in contact with Daniel. Natty, you are a star. Everyone go check out Natty on Twitter, N4THY. Check out the BIB clan server, all that good stuff. Natty hooked this up completely. It's all hers. So thanks again, Natty. And thanks again, Daniel. But yeah, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching the video. And goodbye.
Well, thanks. Bye.
Well, I am now on my own after the fact, so just thought I'd do a little bit of a post-show thing, which is since the video went on longer and I didn't want to cut it out because if you didn't know, the gameplay that you watched, the first video was like the best game and best ending to a game of Gunmaster that I've ever seen in my life. So if you didn't actually watch the gameplay and just listen to it, please do go back and check it out because it was really awesome in my opinion. Second game was just a really good game of Capture the Flag. We completely dominated them 7-0 I think, but most of the team had like rage quit probably at some stage towards the end of the game, so that's unfortunate. And then this last game is my first game back on Xbox since I moved over to PC nearly a month ago. I went back on today and had a little buzz around and like just wanted to see how good I was. I was pretty bad, but as you can see by these sniper shots that I'm pulling off more or less, I am still pretty handy once I get back into the swing of things. But it's definitely crazy how much of a helper using a helper, how big of an impact using the keyboard and mouse is. But as far as the series goes, this is the second video of many, hopefully. I know for a fact that I have at least one more lined up. Natty has me in contact with another person that I really want to speak to. That one should be in about a week or so, hopefully, and it's only going to be about 15 minutes because they're quite busy, as I mentioned in my last video. But if you enjoyed this video again, please do leave us a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new here. Thanks for watching the video, and goodbye.